Hi Nesters, it's Dawn here, and I'm going to walk you through how I created a card using a faux quilt background. The papers I used are from Close to My Heart from their Dream Pop set. You can see there's some cardstock with almost an embossed surface to it, and then some really fun, vibrant summer colors for the pattern paper. To start out, I went ahead and I cut 1/2-inch strips from the pattern paper. Just to make sure I had enough, I went ahead and cut 2 1/2-inch strips from each of about 5 different sheets of pattern paper. It ended up being much more than I needed, but I can always use the extras to make another card or two. Once I had all of my strips cut, I took a few minutes and I lined them up in a rough order that I wanted to use them on the card. I ended up changing the order a little bit, and that's fine, but I just wanted to have kind of a rough estimate of which colors would come before and after others. What makes this very easy is using a cutting mat that's got a 45-degree angle on it. And you can see there's the 45-degree angle. I use that to line up my first strip. The first 2 strips are the most important in this process. You want to make sure those first 2 strips are lined up properly. If they're not, the rest of the card will not work. So I took my time, I got that first strip down. Once I had it where I wanted it, I went ahead and just cut off the excess. Then I took my second strip. The first strip is important, the second strip is equally important. You want to make sure that the second strip butts up to the first strip at a 90-degree angle. If you get off just the tiniest amount, it'll throw the entire card. So you definitely want to take your time when you line up these first 2 strips. Like I said before, everything else is going to depend on these 2. So I took my time, I got that second one down, and again, I cut off the excess. At this point, you're just going to keep lining things up. You can go a little bit quicker because you already have those 2 bases down. So I went ahead, I went back to that first strip, and then the third strip gets added right next to the first strip. Then the fourth strip will get added up next to the second strip. So you're going to go in, one side to the other with these. So you can see there I'm taking my time, making sure that I have it down as close as I can get without overlapping to those first 2 strips. Then I'm going to go ahead and add the next one. So you could see there that the paper I had originally chosen, I just didn't like it, so I picked another one. And again, that's fine. It's your card. You can be creative here. So I went ahead and I just repeated that process. You can see it's kind of a V shape, and I went ahead and just continued that process to fill in the rest of that V. And there you can see it's completed. I was left with 2 triangles that I had to fill in, so I just continued the process. Just added strips right up against a previous strip. These were a little bit easier because you only had to worry about one at a time. So I got the first half done, and here I am just finishing up that second half. And again, it's just that same process of adding those strips. Once I was done, and you'll see it in just a moment, I went ahead and I corner rounded 2 of the edges. Next, it came time to stamp my sentiment. I used this set called For a Friend, and I went ahead and just took a piece of white cardstock, inked it up with something called cotton candy. I just think that's a fun color. Inked it up with cotton candy, made sure that my ink was even over the stamp, and stamped it. Once I was done stamping, and this is not on the video, I went ahead and I cut out the sentiment, and then I cut out just a slightly larger oval of yellow pattern paper just to help that sentiment to pop, and I adhered them both down with pop dots, and then the card was done. Took maybe 30 minutes from start to finish. I hope you enjoy. I'll see you next time.